is up and we're ready to start cooking dinner because tonight we're cooking paella for 10. I'm going to do an authentic paella cooked on an open fire that I'm going to build here using this 24-inch paella pan. It's going to be a lot of work, so let's get started. We will be using rice imported from Spain just for paella, some saffron, chorizo, squid, octopus, and monkfish. I'm also going out to the store to get some fresh clams, mussels, and hopefully some prawns to go in it. Still a few hours before I have to do the cooking, so this is the time to get all the prep work done. This is where the time is spent. I'm going to have everything all cut up and ready to go, set up in little containers in the order that I'm going to put them in the pan, so that when I go out to do the fires and cook the paella, all I have to do is pour things in one after another in the right sequence at the right time so that everything comes out and is served together. That way I can spend more time with my friends and less time prepping the food once they arrive. So let's get to work. The fish is already cut up into squares. I'm going to put the octopus in whole. Right now I'm cutting tubes out of the heads of the squid and using the tentacles whole. Squid is going to go in before the fish, so I want to put them on top of the fish. Gotta have some chorizo. Yeah, it's a natural casing too. You're gonna clean the mud off the clams and also test them and make sure they are still alive. If they're closed, they're good. If they're open at this point, you don't reclose, they're not alive and you don't want to serve them. Fresh monkfish. The shrimp are raw, tail on, and all they need to do is thaw, and then we put them in the pan when we get started, and they're ready to go. So we really don't have to clean these. All these have to be is thawed out with a little dribble of water. So we have shrimp, mussels, clams. We're going to have some decorative crawdads in there as well. Chorizo, octopus, squid, and two types of fish. We have monkfish on top, and we also have some cod for people that don't like monkfish. Now for some veggies. There seems to be a little debate whether or not we use a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 ratio of rice to stock. The recipe I'm calling for looks like a 3-to-1 ratio. Normally when I cook rice, I use a 2-to-1 ratio, but since we're cooking in a thin, very wide layer, I think the 3-to-1 is probably the way to go. I'm going to be prepared with maybe even 4-to-1, and it's going to be boiling and ready to go, so that if I have to add some stock to the pan, it'll be ready and we won't have to take a chance on spoiling the meal. The crab stock I have frozen. I'm going to need some more. So let's go to the stove and make some stock. Okay, I have this with some water in it. When I make stock, I use some sort of carcasses. In this case, we're going to do some lobsters to mix with the crab and fish stock that I've used. Just pour them in. I like the little vegetables in my stock, so frozen scraps as well. And let's bring them to a boil. Pretty much everything is measured. I now have the 4 cups of rice. I have my chopped aromatic vegetables, tomatoes, garlic, olive oil, bay leaves, saffron, and a little smoked paprika. I'm going to use all of the saffron. I'm going to cook it a little bit in a couple of stock so that I can pour it in already expressed and it'll spread out a little bit more evenly. I'm going to use both packages today, as not using enough, you don't get enough of the flavor and there's no sense messing with the expense. If you can use something this expensive, you might as well put enough in so that you can taste it. And of course, there was always the prayers was going on, dear Lord, don't. Now, there are 2 whole octopus in here. If you don't want octopus, holler. If you want one,
You're not getting
well, here.
it. Let's see.